two guys totally different, and that made it work, right? So, which other superhero you think can have not the same, but you can see Deadpool with?
I've always liked the Deadpool teams up with Wolverine because as serious as Cable is, I think Wolverine's even more serious.
Yeah.
He's got a shorter temper, so I think Deadpool ends up in pieces more often than he would with Cable. But yeah, I always like that. I also like it. There's been a couple of times where Deadpool has teamed up with Captain America, and you want to talk about someone who is just boring. I mean, in a great way. I mean, he is just all-American. Yes, sir. I'm from the '50s.
He is boring.
I think they've done a really good job of expanding his character in recent times. But he's still. There's a reason why they call him the Boy Scout, because he's just serious and just good-hearted. And dude always makes the right decision. And then Deadpool is just jackass. So the two of them together work out really well. I like that kind of that dynamic.
Okay, and the other question I have is, what do you think that with this, that there's not a rumor, but a tendency that everything that's labeled mutant and stuff like that are being killed off, example Wolverine, and everything is coming on. They say it's because Marvel wants to pressure the hand of the companies who have the ownership of those types, like Fox or Universal, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it will be any different if they relinquish? You see the story changing, or what's your opinion of that?
Well, it's a tough call because I don't know if you guys know the reason why Fox has X-Men and Fantastic Four, and Sony has Spider-Man. But the reason is because back in the early '90s, Marvel went through bankruptcy. They had made some unwise financial decisions, and it really hurt the company. And rather than fold Marvel up, a company that's been around for 40, 50 years, they decided to declare bankruptcy. And in doing that, they were trying to make as much money as they could to be able to pay off their creditors. And one of the things they did was they put all their characters on the table. And went, all right, movie studios, we're going to give you guys a sweet deal if you want to come license our characters to make movies. And Fox came in and they grabbed up the X-Men universe and Fantastic Four and Daredevil, and Sony came in and grabbed up the big one, which was Spider-Man, which I don't know if you guys know this, is the most lucrative character in the world. More than Mickey Mouse, Darth Vader, more than everybody. Spider-Man makes more money for Sony than any other character for any company, including the entire Avengers roster. Yeah, it's insane.
No wonder they wanted to move it.
Well, that's when they missed a crappy movie last time. So they came in and they got deals from Marvel that basically said, as long as we make a movie every 4 years, we get to keep this license forever.
Wow.
And so that's why no matter what, you're going to see Sony make a Spider-Man movie at least every 4 years, and you're going to see Fox make an X-Men movie at least every 3 years. And so as long as they do that, they get to retain those licenses forever. The great thing about that is, though, is that in the early '90s, there were a bunch of characters that no one gave a crap about, and they were Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. And so no movie studio bought those up, so Marvel was stuck with these dead-end characters that no one gave a crap about.
Right.
And of course, that all changed very quickly. So, I mean, that was the best thing that could have happened to Marvel. But that's why that is. So, I forgot the original question. What was the original question? Say it again.
Yeah, what do you think will be the future of this? I know it's every 4 years, but they're not seem to be connected with the universe, Marvel universe right now, and I think.
Okay, now I remember your question.
Yeah.
So basically, what's happened is because Sony's Spider-Man, they're having issues, basically figuring out. I think their issue was Mark Webb personally, but they're having issues with getting Spider-Man to be viable in the United States like it used to be. And so I think that's why they approached Marvel and said, hey, what would you think about a partnership where you guys can start producing Spider-Man movies? And so that's where that's coming from, why Spider-Man's entering the Marvel Universe. Fox, on the other hand, doesn't want to share X-Men at all. It's become a little bit of a contentious relationship a bit. I'm not saying that Marvel doesn't support, the X-Men, because they still do, but you probably noticed over recent years you haven't seen a whole lot of new mutants being created. The reason that is because the term mutant Fox has that complete license, so any character they create automatically becomes licensed by Fox, and they get to do with it as they please. So it's why you saw in House of M, they culled like, hundreds, if not thousands of mutants.
Yeah.
And why you're not seeing a whole lot being created. And it's also like when I did Cloak and Dagger, I did a book, and the whole thing was we were going to finally answer the question of whether they were mutants or not. And I wanted them to be mutants very badly until I talked to my editor and said they can never be mutants because the minute they are, Fox wins.
So that's basically that's the reason because about Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch on Avengers, they're
They're the one caveat. I think because they were always considered Magneto's children, but they were considered Avengers.
Yeah.
And they fell under the Avengers banner, but also mutants, that they were the two characters that became shared universe characters. And it's actually, oddly enough, and I think, this is my theory anyway, I believe this is why I think that Fox, or Marvel got so mad at Fox, was because they put Quicksilver in the X-Men movie. I'm speculating, I have no idea. Oh, that's good. I'm totally speculating, keep that in mind, I have no idea what the truth is, but that seems why.
actually, I don't probably it's gonna be bad on me, but I actually like more the Fox Quicksilver, like how they did it.
Oh, I thought it was that scene in the cafeteria or the kitchen.
Yeah.
It was so great. It's so imaginative. I like it showing it from his point of view.
Yeah.
Where he's just moving at normal speed. And I like the way, he puts it in. Oh, that's great. So cool.
Well, hey, Mark. As a comic book artist,